back in game number 3 now here in our Cashier's Round coverage of the PBA World Championship. E.J. Tackett plus 1,018 in first. B.J. Moore, Dick Allen, 501 on the day. Third, Sam Cooley, Don Barrett, Mitch Beasley, Lavoie, Novak, O'Grady, and Simonson. The top 10. That famous 24th spot right now is being held by Jason Sterner, 3 pins ahead of Brunswick teammate Sean Rash. See, Belmo's 299 jumped him up to a tie in 11th with Matt McNeil. Find your favorite player. All scores available at PBA.com. And just click on the link. Check out all the animal pattern scores as well. They're all still up there for you on the home page. Kyle Troop with that colorful outfit. 2:43 the second game. Just 5 pins behind that 24th position with 4 to go. Belmo looking to capitalize on that 299. Starts out with a couple more strikes here after a spare in game 3. Some of his video highlights we just saw from former or past champions, I guess we can call it here, different events from the World Series of Bowling. Some pretty memorable winning shots from our world champions.
And one man who's won this as the national championship, not as the world championship. He's won it twice. He won it in 1989 and in 1998. The man stepping up right now, Pete Weber. Pete always takes the time to stop by the Extra Frame booth and make sure he says hi to Extra Frame's #1 fan, Kenny Seymour.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny. Ah, how about that? Behind the head of Kenny Seymour, Pete Weber gets all 10 down. Martin Larson, another solid week for Martin here at the World Series of Bowling. Martin Larson making animal pattern finals in the Chameleon Championship, the Scorpion Championship, and the Shark Championship. So a little 3-for-4 effort for Martin Larson. Mentioned the run that Patrick Girard had last game, and then finishing with 274. McNeil finished with 269. As they both were working on the front 8 strikes.
All right, Phil, you give me the tough trivia questions. I'm gonna throw you one. I'm gonna give you an easy one. What season did we crown 2 world championships in the same season?
That would be the super season of 2012 and 2013.
And they were?
I believe one of them was Askew.
Close. He was a foreigner. Don Barrett.
Don Barrett was my other guess.
And the lefty Parkerville.
Ah. So you said guess 2. You gave me time to answer 1, and then totally cut me off before the second one. Right. No, I understand. I know where I rank. I know where I rank here in the booth.
You hold all the controls over there on the TriCaster.
All right, here we go. Then we're going to look at really quick before McNeil and Weber go. Taking another look at Belmonte. Rash off to a rough start. Smallwood front 4. Belmo feeling it with the run out. He's all the way down to lane 29.
See Weber calling his own game. That's 3 in a row. He says he gives us 3 fingers up. That 10-pin slid quite a bit sideways. hey, a strike's a strike. As we were talking earlier about the Beasleys having a chance to meet up for a chance to make one of the shows there on Animal Patterns. How about back in '94 when Dave Traber defeated Dale Traber in the National Championship? Think there was some brotherly love being shared in that one?
Absolutely not. I have a story I'll relate about that particular event momentarily. Thelma has always liked this World Championship pattern. Always seems to find a way. It's like a Masters pattern. You know, you get these 39 to 41 foot lengths, and Thelma always finds a way to score on these. So the turning point in that match, in the championship match in '94, was when Dale Traber in the 7th or 8th frame left a 5-7 split, and Bo Burton called it DOA, dead on arrival, on the ABC telecast. So that's on a Saturday. Tuesday night back in Milwaukee, one of the better scratch leagues. It was in a little 8-lane center that Gary Dereshevsky, it's a name if people watched a lot of team challenge shows back in the 90s, and if they're familiar, he's a USBC Hall of Famer as well. Gary owned an 8-lane center in the south side of Milwaukee, and it was a very competitive league, scratch league, and Dale Traber was a member of one of the teams in that league. His first practice shot that night, the first night of the league after he returned from Toledo and losing the national championship to his brother, was a 5-7. And the entire league, all 39 other guys in the league, started hollering DOA at him.
If we'd had social media, we'd have seen that photo plastered all over, I'm sure.
There's no doubt. And something tells me that Dale actually would have shot at that before anybody could have gotten their phone on their camera going. He would have tried. Dale, a Hall of Famer himself, and the 2-time USBC Senior Masters champion. Take a quick peek in at Sean Rasher looking for his first double of the game, and he gets it.
So we start with a 70-pin gap between 42nd and 24th. Now we are sitting on a 114-pin gap. So a little separation now. Marcus Jansen, Tommy Jones, Richie Teese, Kevin Donovan, Karsten Hansen. Some guys needing to make up some ground. Marshall Kent had a good start, but then he's only 424. Must have had a tough game number 2. Some guys looking to make a move here with just a little 6-gamer this morning. E.J. Tackett still leading the field. 45 pins ahead of B.J. Moore after 34 games thus far. Okay, we talked about that 261 from game 1. How about a 274 the last game for Pat Gerard? Definitely a 5 count in there somewhere. That's not a score you see too often. EJ Tech leading the field, and he's got front 5 looking for front 6. A few pairs off camera here in game number 3.
It was nice having Brendan Novak in the booth the other night while he was leading this World Championship. He's had a heck of a run. And he really likes his National Bowling Stadium. Most of the time, not here in Game 3, though, with 3 donuts half-eaten on the board.
A lot of experience for Brandon. He's bowled a lot of PBA events, a lot of bigger events across the country. He's got the ego. But, you know, after leading for 3 of the first 4 days, Sharp tripped him up a little bit. Still in good shape. He got to sleep well for several days so far through this Geico World Series of Bowling. But now it's time to really just kind of buck up and be ready. He's struggling here in Game 3. You would expect him to get it figured out.
Dombrowski with the
save.
smash. Dumbro goes smash. As he starts to turn the incredible... No, he doesn't start to turn to the Incredible Hulk on the way back. I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Well, take that 7-pin. Matt McNeil says, I can do it too, Pat Dombrowski. What do you think? Somebody slipped a 5-pound 7-pins on the racks there on lanes 25 and 26.
Arturo Quintero having a solid effort here at the World Series. And Quintero, I believe, is our highest finisher in the World Championship standings that did not make an animal pattern. I'm re-verifying my information once again, but I do not believe Quintero made an animal pattern.
I believe you are correct out of all the players up there.
And Quintero coming in was 10th in the World Championship standings. That's not easy to do. Miss all the animal pattern cuts, but be 10th in the World Championship? Simonson giving that 2.48.10 a run. Can't get enough or any of the 2-pin. Let's take an extra look at Matt McNeil's shot here. You just watch, he's just not out of it. Well, you see that ball just loping at the end of the pattern. And he knows himself right there. That was all release issues.
Simons is not sure how those pins fell. That's the ultra high flush strike there. Still confused, but hey, they're down, so don't turn it on.
Let's get Pete back in here. Tom Smallwood trying to bounce back off the open frame in frame 8. Gets the strike in the 9th. Rash, solid game going here. But he's trying to come back from that even 200 game last game. Lost 99 pins to Belmo. As a squeak of some type in the National Bowling Stadium causes Sean Rash to back off.
PBA World Series of Bowling 8. Silver Legacy, our host resort casino here in Reno, Nevada. Nice day outside today. It's going to hit possibly high 40s, mid 50s. Sun's shining here in Reno. I just happened to catch a little bit of the Bears game walking around the center here during the last break. It looks like a slush storm back in Chicago for the game against the Niners.
Yeah, I know. Getting the weather report from back home in Wisconsin, they're expecting 2 to 3 inches there, and I'm sure I'll be blazing across Lake Michigan to your home shortly, Craig. And
well, as long as it's gone by the time we get back, if somebody wants to go shovel my driveway, it's only a quarter mile long. Please do so before I get back next week. I would appreciate it. And don't forget to invite me over next Saturday for the viewing party on the animal pattern shows on the ESPN app, ESPN 3, starting this coming Saturday. Now, not next Saturday.
Not to correct you, Craig, but the app is Watch ESPN.
Watch ESPN.
On your computer, it is ESPN 3. On your laptop, ESPN 3. On your mobile device, Watch ESPN.
So you do have to register, I believe. Something you want to get out of the way ahead of time. Just get down there, get signed up, put your credentials in. It's free to watch, as long as you have a ESPN package on your satellite, cable, whatever, however you happen to watch TV at home. Be sure to check that out.
And here comes Patrick Dombrowski in your picture on lane 26. He wasn't quite sure on that one. He's staring it down, going, thought that was going to go high. And that was dead flush in the pocket.
Según yo estaba jugando una final de unos extranjeros, pero dicen que no.
Well, Gerard, another solid game. Can shoot 269 to follow up his 274 effort in game 2.
Pat Gerard still sitting in 14th in the overall world championship.
Oh, chiquita de qué?
Member of Team Canada.
Catch Rash, his first ball in the 10th, looking to get 237. Trying to keep pace with Smallwood and Belmo. True big-time circles again this game.
Not sure if you caught that, Phil, but we heard Chuck Gardner clap 5 times at that, not his standard 4 clap. Picking up on the ambient mic.
Chuck Garner actually have a standard clap?
Yes, he does.
He does, okay.
Yes, he does.
I've never heard a standard clap out of Chuck, but he gave the extra on that one. He gave the 5 instead of the 4.
There's actually a little Brunswick team competition on the Chuck Gardner clap impersonation. You'll have to. I'll see 3.
That was 3 for small. He's mixing it up now.
So that's averaging 4.
He's keeping us on our toes. That's what he's doing. Chuck's keeping us on our toes over here. He's close enough to the booth he can hear us talking, and it's not an easy job repping for these players for basically 2 weeks. I mean, we had his son in the booth, Chuck Gardner II, the other night, and tell you what, apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to bowling knowledge. And Chuck Gardner II did a great job with us in the booth.
Yeah, I caught that interview. CG2 did a fantastic job. It's first time in the booth, and I know the players and the team enjoyed having him out here for the week. Lots of different storylines across the World Series, the World Championship, all the different animal patterns we've seen thus far. Can we have another repeat, not back-to-back, but a 2 or 3 time World Champion / National Champion?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a repeat. Gary Faulkner Jr. shut out here at the World Series of Bowling, and I found that to be a bit surprising. He was in contention. A lot of lefties in contention going into those last 2-3 games of the Shark pattern with the Shark Championship, and then as a lot of lefties did, gave pins back the last 3 games and did not successfully make the cut like Andrew Kane and Gilmar Beasley did. 2 lefties in the top 24 for the Shark.
I think maybe the biggest surprise, though, as far as lefties go, is Jake Buttriff is not in this field in the top 42. With the year he's had, 11 PBA titles so far this season. I mean, that's almost unheard of, unprecedented, and just never in any of the patterns got comfortable.
I saw a lot of stuff on Facebook this week from players posting, and they were going, I found a great way to get 9, and I couldn't find a way to get 10, and Buttriff was one of those players that was in that boat, and unfortunately, especially as Belmo slices through the nose.
Yeah, J.R. Raymond, another one of those players, just not, he just talked a few different times, just getting the ball to go through the pins the right ways. We just saw a little bit ago with a solid 7 from a lefty and a righty. I don't think the lanes were very forgiving to either side, whichever you play.
No, I mean, all the patterns played a bit tougher this week, and the one pattern that everyone thought was going to be the highest scoring pattern, which was going to be the Chameleon, ended up being the second lowest scoring. Actually, the Scorpion, the cut line for the Scorpion was higher than any of the remaining patterns. We'll get to Pete Weber here throwing his shot first before we get back to Belmo's spare attempt. Just off the extra frame coverage as Belmo gets 4 to add to his 4 on the first ball for 220. Just off of our extra frame coverage. Matt O'Grady looking for 279. Don Barrett looking for 269. And I believe that's a couple of players that we will see on our extra frame coverage next game. As the bowlers make their lane rotation, new players coming to our extra frame pair and our XF2 coverage. With Craig Elliott and Phil Bradley here from the National Bowling Stadium, the PBA World Championship Cashers round rolls on, live and only on Extra Frame.